I was on here on another timeline. I said Happy New Moon in the chat, and it was not letting me, start the live stream, and it was just weird. And then I realized, oh, you guys are in another dimension. So hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I want to share something I just found. I still haven't unpacked everything. Not that I have a lot of stuff, but this beautiful wall hanging is going to go up by our bed. And I thought, why not let this beautiful energy, look at all of these eyes. Eyes are opening. Eyes are opening. So, Happy New Moon. This is our crystal for the day that is asked to be a guide. This is one of my wands. As you can see, it's pretty special. It has so many worlds within it. Let's see the landscapes. There's a rainbow right there, you see, depending on the light. So you can tune into this beauty. Look at that. And I'm going to just hold this in my left palm. So if you want to feel her in your left palm, there you go. You can tune into her. And since it is a new moon, we of course have Ishel. This is our Mayan goddess. This is the wise woman phase. And here she is again. They depict her. This is as the sage, the older woman. The snake on the head is a sign of enlightenment, like a halo. This is a sign of awakened and transformed being who's in a body and does remember their divine self. She pours down abundance on us and rainbow. She's the goddess of the rainbow, fertility of women, abundance, all medicine. So for me, she's my favorite embodiment of the moon. We also have here, if you want to relate, because we're in the dark, we're in the new moon. That means we don't see the moon. This is our moon jaguar, our beautiful sacred feminine jaguar. And this has very powerful, she has very powerful moon energy. Look at that part of her right there. Ooh. Okay, you can stay over here too, honey bun. And thank you. So I love co-creating because waking up intuitively means you get to live a really rich life. And we feel unfulfilled desires at a deeper level. We feel like it's never good enough. And a lot of it is programming and conditioning, planetary, family, and so on. A lot of it are wounds we bring from our soul. There's a variety of things that create the beliefs, which are filters. They're like putting antivirus programs on your computer and saying, I believe this. I don't want anything that doesn't align with that belief. So if you're carrying a belief you don't even know you have that says you're not good enough, or you have to work harder than everyone else to get what you want, and then you don't really get to keep it, and all the versions of that have been there, those are creating your reality. All right. And we're moving into a time of mastering ourselves and unplugging from outer reality. What does everybody say we should be? And that means that your beliefs, which you perceive as these ironclad things that can't be changed if you're aware and you try to change a belief, it can feel very challenging, but it's because you're focusing on it. You're creating a relationship with it. And what if you kept going? So this is the Lunar New Year and in a couple days, and the new moon. And Mercury went direct yesterday, but it's in what's called a shadow phase, okay? So the shadow phase, we're still feeling a little bit of Mars shadow phase. And that's the phase between retrograde. And remember, they don't actually go backwards. We're talking about our relationship to something. How does it impact you? I live on the beach, and the people even one street back have a completely different reality. They don't get the wind. They don't get the salt corrosion. It's a very different perspective. It's a relationship I have to the weather, to the land, to Gaia, to the mermaids and the dolphins and my beautiful beach is different than the relationship they have even one block away. Of course, wherever you are, it affects you. So the spiritual weather is that we've been slow and we've been sluggish. So please give yourself a break. I've been doing so many sessions with clients, talking with students. We're doing the co-create with your future higher infinite Akashic self class right now. You can join. We're having another class today, and it's amazing. I'm going to teach a whole new process called crystallize. Oh my God, I'm so excited! Crystallize. So the beliefs that you have, you don't want to fight them or struggle with them or hate them or avoid them or feel imprisoned by them. The mental prisons, I love this. I'm going to have to, hi Buddha, I'm going to have to move right over here. So this is all over my crown chakra. Oh yeah, this is good. I like this. Okay. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay. Thanks, guys. They were nudging me. Look at yourself. So what we're experiencing is several months, to be honest, of going through heavy energies. We really, to me, the theme of 2022 was supposed to be unity, and it was. However, that unity involved going deep into the dungeons of our emotions and our feelings and our pain and our past and shoving shit up to the surface. So step by step, all year last year, through these podcasts around the spiritual weather reports and the classes and the intuition awakenings and the things that I do with you are assisting you in this moment because we're awakening. We've never been here before. There are no role models anymore. We have to unplug from everyone else. So a new year, typically in our little conscious minds that have been conditioned and programmed into the world, say, oh, I've got to make a list and then I got to get started on it and I have to be productive and I have to do it and I have to achieve it and I have to have these enormous goals. And then there's these coaches out there that say double and triple and quadruple and quadruple your goal. You're not feeling worthy if you don't charge exorbitant rates or something like this. Well, I'm sorry, but that is the stupidest thing. And I've been there. Okay. I've been with this philosophy being taught, and there are benefits to intuitively awakening to your own soul's blueprints and loving yourself and being empowered by your own inner truth and listening to your own path. And that's where your riches are. That's where your fulfillment is. That's where your satisfaction is. That's where you step out of grasping. That's where you step out of desperation. So please don't go into this new year with desperation, with low energies that are cutting the flow, literally the air, the blood flow to your soul, to the part of you that's waking up and that's ready. The beliefs are filters that help your conscious mind stay present in the moment. Your conscious mind is like the point of the pyramid, and everything underneath it is, your higher self and your blueprint that decided, like, let's bring these fears and wounds from these lives and let's go for this goal and let's line up these relationships so we can have karmic completions and free our energies, and then we can get all these parts of our soul together to go into this time of transformation and heal, if not all, an enormous portion of our soul. Healing meaning bring it back to wholeness. So not that you punish or judge or resolve or anything outside of you, it's all within you. But the beliefs say, you have to get my authority, my permission. You have to have this stamped and you need it in triplicate, and where are your papers? Okay? Show your papers, please. So my catacorn wants to say hi. Oh, you can't see him. His cute little face. He's enormous. Look how enormous he is. So I made so many courses over my 16 or 17 years online and my 33 years teaching. And it's like about beliefs. Okay, specifically, because that used to be one of the things we could get into our minds back in the dark ages of the new age was, oh, meditation makes me feel a little better. If I think positive, maybe it will help. Oh, all these beliefs are like this heavy prison. Well, we've naturally grown past that because we are at a higher level of consciousness. It's a big hot mess trying to figure out how to live in a world that nobody understands anymore. And that's just where we are. There's nothing wrong with it. We're not supposed to fix it. We're supposed to be in the present moment going, oh, what's happening for my path? That's falling away from me. This is coming new. The new year tends to provoke judgment from goals in the past that you didn't achieve. All right. So I want you to release that tension off of yourself. And I've been talking for weeks, even before the end of the year, about this period. So we went through this intense eclipse, right? And then at the end of October, and then again, and then we went through some more of this deeper energies. Well, this is good because we can't go to higher realms of consciousness. We can't create the way we're meant to be the creator we are. We need to be communicating with these other parts of us. We are the densest part of us. And when we take on certain beliefs about ourselves and we walk around like this, we manifest into the physical. Oh, the hump because I'm, embarrassed of my body, or the fear of speaking up, or whatever it is. I've had them all. Okay. And those are part of the process. They are not you. The beliefs that caused them were very heavy, but you are naturally raising your vibration whether you like it or not. So it can be a lot of suffering and fear and pain, right? Or it could be a lot of beauty and a lot of fun and a lot of like, wow, that was interesting, or holy shit, that was an intense vision quest I just went on in my bed for 3 days throwing up, or whatever's happening. You're having light body sickness, whether you're doing actively my courses, the light body activations that I teach, the energy cleanses. If you're expanding your intuition, if you're doing your energy work, if you're spending time at least as much as you're showering and brushing teeth time, please give to your spiritual and energetic well-being. So the beliefs are not giant guardians. However, they are prison bars, but they're more like a filter. So think about them as a filter that you put up so that your conscious mind can be at the point. You need to be here. You need to be, I'm the one. Like when they send that little robot thing down to see the Titanic, everybody's up here and you're down and that's down there and that's you. And you're getting to you need to be the one that's looking. You're the only part of you that's here. However, all the other parts, they know your soul blueprint. They know what you brought into this life. They know what you designed for this life. Now, we have free will. Yes, we do. And guess what that means? That means we can not do our spiritual work, complain, find people to commiserate with, stay stuck, and blame ourselves and everybody else for everything, and live out our lives just waiting to die, basically, thinking everything sucks. Do you know anyone like that? Have you been that way ever? Well, the reality is you have free will. In every moment, you could go meditate. In every moment, you could go cleanse your light body. In every moment, you could choose a green smoothie over a Coke. Okay. And I'm not judging anybody. I don't care what you do. You make those choices, but we have to mature spiritually. If you don't want to live in the patriarchy, if you don't want to live in the paradigm where everybody else tells you what to do and everybody controls what you think and how you feel about yourself and how you express yourself, and you limit yourself and mold yourself, because we all have, to the people and the culture and the family beliefs and the church or the government or whatever, all these things. And we've all been conditioned with it. So you're not the victim. You're not being punished. It's just where you are. So now you can say, oh, okay. However, I am ready to focus on the part of me that is ready to go up. And what we're finding in the co-create with your future and your higher self is the first step is to cleanse and dump. And, oh, I don't want to cleanse and dump. I already do cleanses, right? Like this is this part of the blocks and beliefs that are preventing you from going forward when you go, oh, that's not working. Now, you want to choose the things you resonate with, of course, but I can tell you one of the most powerful tools I ever learned was the Silva method. And what was so powerful about it was sort of a lesson in itself, one moment, that I resist, there's parts of me that resist what's optimal for me. So if you've ever taken it, they take one of those, I think it's called a metronome. It's on a piano and you set it to tick tock at a particular pace. It can go slow, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, okay? And I don't know music, so it's there for people to learn some kind of a vibrational imprint of a rhythm, to understand. It's a language, okay? It's an energy language. It's a light language, music and this. So the lady was teaching us, and you're basically mastering your mind. You're basically going in and saying, okay, I'm the creator, and this is my interpretation. I took Silva, and then I took Silva 2000 with Laura herself, and I knew her for a while, very lovely lady. And this is a very powerful way to master your inner vision. Within the 3 days, I was already be able to scan somebody I don't know somewhere else and see things in their field. And this is what I teach my clients now in Intuition Awakening. And when you get the positive feedback, that's what you've seen, it breaks the beliefs very quickly. So the reason that things like Intuition Awakening, with the feedback, with me doing the work and the activations with you, I create the chamber before you come on this call, whether you feel it or not. There's energies all around you. They're loving, they're infinite, they're protected, and they're aligned to your highest good and what's optimal for you at this time. I'm not interested in just go do this and push and go crazy and then be exhausted and really, really get sick. All right. But if you're raising your vibration, you're going to have some light body sickness. So occasionally you'll have some nausea or some headaches or some stomach problems or feelings of like a dent in your head. Sometimes my crown spot up here kind of goes deep. It's very strange. My scalp grew. So these are parts of the metamorphosis that you're in, and your beliefs have to metamorphosize with you. So as you enter the new year, remember the new moon is about planting seeds. And what does that mean? Well, if your womb, the new moon, this dark nurturing space, is a place that you hold the seeds of your soul. You hold them there, and many of them have been buried or dormant or even programmed not to wake up until XYZ. So when you start to get to know yourself and your soul, and you do self-scans like the Intuition Awakening students in the advanced class did, this starts to give you the answer. You don't have to say to someone else. Of course, you go get help and you get healing and you get guidance, and there's always some other path that's drawing you forward. However, first you look within and you start to go, oh, what's this part? And the belief, being a filter of what you were able to see or perceive, now no longer makes sense. And instead of seeing the belief, you start to see through the belief, like through a screen, but, more big, like you can see the cross weave, and you start to see through that belief. Or you start to experience things that don't align with that belief. Or you start to feel things in your heart that say, wow, I'm ready for something so different. This just doesn't work for me anymore. This relationship or this way of being or this job or the way that I act at this job or whatever it is or where I live. So waking up is the primary purpose right now. Being present to the fact that your beliefs are going to fall and they're going to crumble, and it's good because you created them, some at your soul level and some in the body. But you bring a blueprint. It's the best access is through your 9th chakra. It's called the stellar gateway. All right. And I give all my students and all my clients my 18 chakra chart so you can take a peek at that. In that stellar gateway, you have access to your soul blueprint and a part of you that you could call a keeper, like a record keeper or a guide. And everyone relates to it differently. So I don't try to embed a particular word for it because wow, the way people relate to their higher self in their 8th chakra is sometimes it's a goddess and sometimes it's a tree and sometimes it's a sassy, dancer from the 20s. And, you get to relate to these parts of you as you awaken and open your eyes. And so beliefs are part of that. Look at the energies that you're carrying. What beliefs are they attached to? And what emotions are they attached to? And what judgments are they attached to? And unravel what it is. Now, you can do it in your mind by writing what's underneath that, what's underneath that, what's underneath that. Or you can go into meditation, go into one of my activations, and then go into a space where you are communicating with your highest self. That's many different layers of you, okay? And these parts know your soul blueprint. So your soul blueprint is also in the 9th chakra with something called the infinite field access point. And this is an access point to the infinite field. What is the infinite field? Source. It's the field to the scientists. It's everything. And it's not in a shape. It's not in a form. It's just soup. It's just chaos. It's just floating around. And that's the Akasha, and that's the dark matter, they call it now, and that's everything. And you can draw this in, and you do daily, because whether you feel like it or not, you are creating your reality, okay? However, are you consciously creating it? And is it turning out the way you want? And are you more busy being attached to the things you think you need and craving them and feeling stuck by not having that? Or last year I made a goal to lose weight and it didn't work out, or this happened or that happened, That conversation is boring and it's old and it's useless. This is outdated stuff. And this is where you start to see through your beliefs and say, wow, there's this beautiful, colorful field out here. I could be playing in the infinite field. What does that mean? Well, you don't have actually infinite possibilities that you could become at this moment, because in order to be a being of such purity in mind, body, spirit, and all levels of your light body, you would have to be so pure that you could just think and suddenly you turn into a Buddhist monk, and then you think and now you're a little girl swimming in the lake, and then you think and you're a white tiger, like that kind of transformation. Yes, it's possible. You made your body, but you're not here for that. You're not here to do things that are impossible. You're not here to trip yourself up by giving yourself things to do that you can't achieve, or you don't feel you believe you can have, or you have programs that stop you from seeing it. All that stuff's going on. So that's why asking just simply, I am no longer willing to move forward with the beliefs, the thoughts, that imprison me, that keep me separate from my field of infinite potential, from my soul's blueprint. What's in your soul's blueprint? All the things that make up who you are. Your ego is not bad. However, your ego has a purpose, so it's your personality. It'd be pretty weird if you walked around and you didn't have a personality every day. You talked differently, did something different. It would be it doesn't make sense in this reality to have that kind of being. When you imprint it, though, it becomes to take over. And the mind is where you create your universe. It's the first law, the first hermetic principle, the first universal law. The universe is mental. Everything is mind. You are from the one mind, so you are connected to the one mind. But you are a channel and a conduit for the infinite field. But the biggest filter you have is this filter out here, okay, that as things come into your light body, this filter is your soul blueprint. And it says, oh, I'm going to be a Leo with an Aquarius moon. I'm going to be born in India on this mountaintop. I'm going to have 4 brothers, and I want to bring all the wounded lives in my soul that are afraid of money, that are afraid of asking for money or spending money, or losing money or receiving money or being attacked for money or being never good enough for money or being valued enough to have money, or feeling a self-love and self-worth that instills value, whether there's money or not. And then at your soul blueprint planning party, you draw in these lives. And so you come in and you manifest. And this is just one aspect. You probably have many, many other ones. Let's have wounds about being a healer and being an intuitive and speaking up and feeling like I'm burning at the stake. That's a big one right now. And I don't want to speak up because I'll be criticized, outcast, beheaded. I'll be disowned. I need to belong. I don't fit in. Okay. You can pick it. There's a lot of them, but this is just one example. So then, not only do you choose a particular family at a particular status, maybe you choose a very wealthy family and you experience how wealth can corrupt, or it's hard to talk about wealth, or you lose motivation because you have, like there's aspects. There's people who are born with wealth and never have to work and enjoy their lives. They collect art and they travel and they learn music and they live. And there's people who are born with a lot of wealth that feel guilty, that feel burdened, that just go through pure hell because of whatever beliefs they brought in. So you bring that in, and then you begin to crystallize, you begin to attract experiences, because these wounds and you have agreed that you're going to do something about them. So you are here for a massive belief breakdown, and it's a good thing. So I highly recommend that you start deciding, well, what do I want to believe? What is the future me, the future timeline I want to connect to? That's what the class we're doing right now is all about. How do you connect to the optimal you? And then you don't worry about it, because day to day it changes. As you do your work, you'll be like, oh, I connected to this. It's a great, you're receiving some information. You're starting to feel a sense of like, I could be that way, or you feel how that part of you would walk, or maybe you start to imagine or feel like, oh, you're living in the place or with the person that that the future you has, but not this enormous, ridiculous goal. I'm a millionaire and I weigh 1 pound and I am the queen of the universe and I live on a castle with dolphins. Let's take one step instead of tripping ourselves up. Okay. So be aware that your beliefs are your filter and they're part of your prison. And the sooner you become aware of them, you look at them, you accept them, you write them down, and then you start to say, well, what would I like to believe instead of that? It's the most empowering, simple process. And a lot of people say, oh, I've done that. If you run into a process and you don't even repeat it or give it time to work, then you're desperate and you're rushing and you're pushing and you're missing all of the information and all of the possibilities that are all around you right now. All right, let's see, what other energy do we need to relate to before we go into our meditation? So we've walked through this darker energy or retrograde energy. Now we're in the shadow phase. And in a couple of days, it's the Lunar New Year, and it's Uranus, which is the planet of change, awakening, but often disruptive. Just change no matter what, like the tower, like, okay? And could be complete turnaround, all kinds of things. That's turning direct. And then we have no retrogrades for a few months. In March, there's going to be some explosions, some very explosive energies. So you want to be in your path now with whatever you've been feeling frustrated about. Most everybody's been feeling sluggish. Everybody's been feeling like they can't get going. I knew it. I mean, I'm aware of this and I'm in it going, letting, some of the more sad thoughts try to grab my attention. And I know better. And I cleanse and clear my life body many times a day. And I do this work all day long. So I'm always in a process because I'm cleansing and clearing myself and lighting the incense and doing, and then at the end of the day, I clear myself. So there's nothing there but me. And it's still living in those energies. So I have to recognize that I can't pretend I'm having a sunny day when there's a hurricane at the beach. Right? So rest, renew. Well, now that's turning around. And the shadow phase we're in is like everything holding still. It's like we're shutting down for intermission. So Mars and Mercury are, Mercury just went, into the shadow peak of the shadow phase yesterday. So it's been a little while. Mars is coming out and Uranus is about to start. So we're in more shadow. as well as the new moon being dark. What do we want to understand about that energy? That dark energy isn't bad energy. It can represent negative energy. It's energy that one could be the womb, which is a nurturing, beautiful place. Seeds have to go in the dirt and away from the light initially to be nurtured, to be planted, to have a place to grow roots. It's also the dark shadow side of us. What is the shadow side of us? Well, it's the part that we perceive or judge as not good enough. It's the part we fear. It's the part that you've built beliefs and structures over time that limit you speaking up or asking for money. So if you come in with these wounds around money, then there's this confusing experience with money. Let's say you're born into a poorer family, a family that has very few resources, and you hear things like rich people are jerks and greedy and don't care about other people, and money is evil, and but you watch how not having money causes illness and poverty. The circumstances are very depressing. So the energies are lack. So there's a possibility to be happy or unhappy at both ends of the scale. So how you manifest it is about the free will we were talking about. That free will maybe doesn't feel like free will when you're a little kid and you're still trying to figure out how to be in your body. All right. And then depending on the experience that you attract, that you experience, right? Whether you're, given support, everybody is not given 100% support, so don't worry about it, or abused or whatever. And the energies are telling you, they're teaching you who to be, what to be. Now it's like you can take the screen off the window and go out the window. However, you've never been out the window fully. All right, so I want you to think of the new year like that. And you have a little portal of time now. This week is really gently. Shadow is also, where are things hidden from you because of your beliefs? And where are your beliefs hiding things from you? So if you believe that money's evil, then you're going to have a hard time making, keeping, and growing money. You're going to feel guilty when you spend money. If you get dragged down when you see or perceive others don't have as much as you do, and then you think you shouldn't have, or whatever it is, there's a million of them, right? Of beliefs that form from this. That is what you manifest. That is what you radiate out. That is what is reflected back to you. That is what you attract. That is what starts creating structure. So it'll be in your relationships. Maybe you have parents or spouses or siblings or other people who are very controlling of money, or tell you constantly don't deserve, or you're not good with money, right? Or you see your parents not be good with money and how much you suffered. Or you see your father spend all the money and watch your mother have to steal, little bits and pieces from him when he's not looking, just to feed them. So there's all kinds of stories that we live that create the rich akasha that we could go into where our beliefs live. However, now you're entering out of the retrograde. You're coming up out of the shadow phase. It's like a shadow phase coming from dark phase to shadow phase. And you can draw from the love. You can plant the seeds with the guidance, because Mercury is just sitting here. And that's your mind. And that's your messenger. And yesterday in a session with a client in a soul reading, the Infinity Healing Chamber turned into like a path or a bridge, like an astronaut crosses to get into a rocket ship. And it was like her new light body. And she was walking out onto it. And then it was like if you were walking in a hallway and this side is a wall and this side is a window. And right here, like huge as like right this is this giant planet. It's Mercury. Because yesterday was the day that it pretty much stopped. And now it's going to start going forward. So it gave her some things. They almost look like fuses or plugs or things that you would put into your electronics to make them do new things. It was very interesting. So maybe you're going to receive messages from Mercury Maybe you're going to get some more energy from Mars. I know Mars energy is coming back because I felt so much more energetic yesterday. Yay! However, it's going to get very intense, which is why you get all your little things in a row. All right. Now, let me quickly share my screen because I really want to remember the name of this beautiful asteroid. This is Sacred Feminine asteroid that's here, and it's come. It's very related to this beautiful new moon that we're in. And I love to look at the asteroids. A lot of people don't, but I do because I really think this is what we're going to do next is the meditation. Money Intuition. This is the new Intuition Awakening course that's starting February 4th. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's going to be just blowing my mind, actually. All right, so the new moon is in Aquarius, and it's at 1 degree. Jupiter's in Aries, so it wants to expand and go forward, and Aries is very head-oriented. Aries is air, it's mind, okay? Mercury is mind, it's mental. We have a lot of mind energy going on right now. If your mind is running wild with judgments and ideas or whatever, right? Jupiter is expanding that desire to go forward. Just bang the way. Just be that Aries. That is the first sign. It feels like it's confidence. So you can harness the confidence, but if it's expanding, make sure the confidence is being channeled into the areas you want it to be channeled into, and it doesn't explode because Mercury's energy is rising again, and it could get conflictive and combative. And this is why the forward movement that's going to happen by next week is going to get more and more intense and not necessarily feel good because we're going to be going like, oh my gosh, I need to take a break. Whereas when that we've been coming out of the sluggish energy saying, oh God, I don't feel like doing anything. I can't finish anything. I can't think straight. I had so many projects going that I was inspired on, and I would run over and I'd work on one, and then something would happen and I could not get back to it. And that was the energy we were in. So I just had to accept the little bursts of things. When I'm in the flow, I'm in the flow. And this is what should be happening right now. Now, 1 degree, okay, is not a critical degree, 0.29. However, it's a significant degree. And so the new moon is also in the new lunar year of the water rabbit, the Chinese water rabbit. And that says caution, because this contrast with Venus is what you want. Venus represents your wants, your desires, your pleasures, okay? And it can represent your ego wants, but we really want to separate. Well, we want to know how to decipher what our soul wants and what our ego wants, because that's part of what gets in the way of thinking that you're any good at manifesting. So you're trying to manifest the wrong things. Okay? And Saturn, that says you can't have what you want. It's restriction. So it's expansion, and it's this beautiful feminine energy saying, oh yeah, and that feminine water rabbit and the homey energy and the abundant energy, and that receiving energy, right? And then Saturn going, no, you can't. All right? So this is a little bit of a complicated new moon, but you can rethink your wants, like we just talked about, using the idea that your beliefs are becoming visible and they don't hold water anymore. And then Mercury is not only turning direct along with Mars, but it's in conjunct, and it means we have to make adjustments. Okay, so it means that the alignment of the action to the idea hasn't been connecting, and you're still going to feel that. Okay, the momentum is starting to build, but have your patience. Be mindful of your plans. Make sure that you don't have plans that are going to just blow you out. Okay, the most direct is the best. Watch where you aren't taking action. You might be saying, oh, I'm going to do this, but you're not doing it. So the energy is going to start to support you to do something. All right. So I do love looking at the cosmic energies, the astrological energies, and then I look at other energies, and then I read the energies, and then I read them together. And so it's an intuitive process for me of my interpretation. And yet astrology is so amazing because it's like a GPS. And when we listen to the spiritual weather report, we can make a smoother path all the way through the year, right? So the new moon is that it's new energy. We know that. That's a good part. You're going to plant your seeds. You're going to make sure you look at the beliefs you're holding while you're planting the seeds. You don't need to know what the seeds are. You want to plant what is optimal for your highest good at this time. Remember Mercury, Mars, and Uranus. And so you're walking in the shadow phase, not just the new moon, but it's going to be at least 3 more days, 4 more days, 5, 6 more days with Uranus going direct on the 23rd. So walking in the shadows is okay. It's how you get used to being where you have been and going into higher light. So use it as an adjustment period, like coming up from the depths. You have to have that chamber to change so you don't, have a brain thing happen, right? So because it's kind of still, it's also balancing. It's also like just everybody's here and we're just taking a breath and we're getting ready and we're in the darkness of the womb. Okay, the time for the planting of the seeds because of the new direction of the new moon. So also, when you acknowledge whatever's come up, known and unknown, over the last several weeks, several months, several years, several lives, do you feel like you've lost something? Do you feel like you're ready for something different? You can't hang on to the past and open your arms to the future. Don't set these huge goals because you do not know what will happen after your next step. Let your inner guidance take you to the next step because you haven't been there. And there's things there that you will be amazed at that will change what you think you want. So feel into what you're ready to manifest and live, and let the definitions come from within you instead of like, I want this, I want that, I want this. Why do I want that? Go down underneath that. I need this much money to feel happy and safe. Then I will be a success. And when that happens, and this is a belief a lot of people have, and maybe you don't really know it, but you'll find it. And it's sitting there and it's saying, until I have X amount of money. And so what if you have that amount of money, but you only have it for a day or 3 months or 3 years or 10 years and it goes away? That means that you're never good enough at all those other times. That means you have to wait for that to happen before you can be happy and successful. This is the barrier. Okay? So here's the asteroid I want you to think about. I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but I'm going to say Chariklo. And it's a spirit medicine asteroid. It's a sacred feminine spirit medicine asteroid. And I think this is phenomenal because we're going into a masculine year, and we're going into a masculine year packed with masculine energies. That's why we're going to have a little explosion in March here. And so this beautiful sacred feminine spirit medicine asteroid is just coming through on the new moon as you're planting your wishes, your seeds, or giving permission for those to awaken within you for this new year that are optimal for your highest self. It's like a midwife. It's assisting your intuitive connection to your higher self, your Akashic self, your infinite self, your future optimal self. This is everything we're doing in the co-create with your future higher Akashic self process right now. You can join anytime. You can buy it later after it's not live anymore too. It's a process where you learn to find these blocks and cleanse them, create a co-creative space as well, a manifesting chamber, as well as this team, and then crystallize. So today I'm going to teach this crystallize process, which is a manifesting process that is completely different than the way people have been trying to create. So okay, so we talked about Aquarius being all these things, and it's also you becoming your spiritual, personal, individual self, as well as being one with the all, caring about the all, knowing that you can care about yourself and the all, and that 1 degree. So remember, it is about awakening your one mind, your one purpose, your one path. Think about one. This is one. This is the start. This is me. This is me creating me in the new year. This is me allowing the soul seeds within me to breathe. So Aquarius is air, and therefore it's breath. So this is also a breath. This is a new moon, new breath of fresh air. And this new fresh breath of life is still in the dark, in the shadow, but it's like a breeze that comes. It's new. You feel cool, ready, The path can be unclear. The path usually is in life. So allow it to unfold. Step out of frustration into your soul seeds that you carry within you. Everything you are, everything you're ready to be, and everything that is optimal for your soul's path is within you. Okay? Excelente. All right, my loves. So it's an exciting moment that we want to enjoy. There's still some of the rest and review going on. There's those huge energies just sitting here with us. Ooh. So don't try to rush to the light. Don't try to move forward on projects that don't seem to have the full light on them. If they're not aligning, give them a chance. Take the next step in the shadow phase with these energies. And in about a week, you're going to have more and more clarity. But you can enjoy this phase because today you can honor your own spiritual womb, the place that holds your soul seeds, your soul blueprint. And when you do that, you get the opportunity to align with your soul's signature frequency, not the frequency that you've learned to be through the beliefs and the cultural conditioning. All right. Thank you so much. Namaste. You're beautiful. I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful time. So now, oh, wait a minute. I think Donna forgot to put it up there. So let me see if I can show you. Either way, you have coming up, we have the exciting new series. We've got two things. Oh, darn. I wish Donna had put that. Maybe I can show you over here. So take a look. Make sure you subscribe and get notifications on the YouTube channel, because then you know when I'm live, then you know when we post something. And you can get on the email list as well if you would like. So let me just take a look over here. We have an exciting breakthrough. It's kind of like a challenge, but I didn't want to call it a challenge. I want you to challenge yourself, yes, but I want you to come have a money intuition breakthrough with me. And it's starting Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We are going to do money intuition activations. We're going to talk about that. And so it's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And we will be about 30 minutes, and we're going to go in and we're going to discuss money intuition. You know, I know a lot of people, especially spiritual people, light workers, they like to say, oh, you know what? I don't care about money. Money's not important. Well, you're in a body and you're in 3D. And when you don't have money, it becomes very important. And then it takes over everything, and then you live in survival. So money isn't important, but valuing yourself is. Being able to speak up, ask for what you want from the universe, from within, from your higher self, from all the resources around you, if not also into the world. So if we're awakening intuitively, we have to recognize that money, the idea of self-esteem, self-worth, self-value, or what I call wealth esteem, our concept of money, it's evil, it's good, I can't have it, I can have it, I have to work hard for it, it'll make me an asshole, whatever, okay? I spent 8 years going deep into myself, trying to figure out why I made a lot of money, lots of money, and then went through a divorce and a bankruptcy and all of that stuff, and then started making $15,000, $25,000 a month. And I've been in every level of this. So I was like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on underneath here? And I took my spiritual and energy skills and started to go into the spirit of money. That was my first course online. And it was about an 8-year period where I focused with all my clients on the spirit of money. What does that mean? We were doing spiritual healing. Yes, we were looking at their soul blueprint. We were looking at their other lives or contracts, like I mentioned to you. Are you carrying a bunch of lives within you that are holding you back? Right? So we have the problems that say you had money and someone took it from you and then killed you, so you never want money again. That, you know, this could happen in another life. I've seen many versions of that. I had a client who made so much money in cash owning a nightclub, he would bring boxes of cash home, but he had a program from youth that said, get rid of money. It's not safe to have money. So he would give it to his wife and say, you count it, you put it in the bank, don't tell me how much is there. And anytime he happened to see how much there was, all kinds of stuff would just happen in his life for him to spend all that money. I had one of my very first clients in this era was working through hypnosis, energy work, going into past lives, all those different things, discovered that he wanted to buy a house for his mother. And he grew up very poor. His mother had never owned her own home, and she was elderly. And he did okay. He did fine. He wasn't rich, but he was doing well enough to wanted to buy her a little home. He loved her dearly. But when he grew up, she was the type of person who said things like, rich people are evil and rich people are greedy and they don't care about anybody. And so he would raise, I think he needed to save $10,000 to put down on the house that he wanted, type of house he wanted to buy. Every time he managed to save $10,000, within a very short amount of time, something happened. And he could no longer see, he didn't have the money. It would, oh, the car broke down. Oh, this happened. Oh, that happened, whatever. So if you have that happen, there's a reason. There's a reason that the universe, the energies within you and the energies around you are taking something away from you. Maybe you're being liberated. Maybe you're being redirected. Look over here. There's so much over there. Just forget that. That's not even what's good for you. Or maybe it's your inner resistance, the beliefs we talked about. Okay? So what happens when you are being an infinite being and you're not feeling infinite because you don't have a lot of money in the bank, or you don't have a big paying job, or you don't know you're going to inherit money, or you've lost money before and you felt the fear and pain of that. How do you free yourself from that? Well, that's one of the reasons you're here. That's the reason to bring these other lives that had pain and fear around money. One of my most amazing clients was a client who called me after a group hypnosis session that I did, where she wanted to come to my live retreat, but her husband controlled all the money. She made very good money, and she won awards in her business, in her job. But she'd never get a raise. She tried to get other jobs. She would never get them. And she tried to start businesses, and they would never work. Her husband, all the money she made would go directly in the bank, and she didn't have a debit card. So she had created a life where she was trapped. She was well cared for in terms of there was money to pay for everything. It wasn't like she couldn't eat, but she had no freedom. And she said she could remember since age 3 of a memory of not wanting to touch money, that it freaked her out. It was like it burned her. So she created and structured a life where she did not touch money, that she did not control it. It scared her. In the session, she went to a life where in the medieval times, where she was a wealthy, educated woman who owned a lot of land, just like now. I mean, she was wealthy and educated. And people wanted her stuff. So they threw her in jail. There wasn't a reason. They just threw her in a horrible, horrible jail. And she experienced laying in this medieval jail in the straw on the bottom and just rotting there, basically, until they chopped her head off. And it didn't matter what she said or that there was any fairness. They just wanted her stuff. So that was that. Well, when she died, her belief, and this is where you get the really strong wounds in your soul, was, I don't ever want money again. Money equals killing. Why on earth would I want any? And that was her takeaway. She called me to tell. I twigged. I got the whole thing. And yeah, she had other parts of her that were a part of this, but it didn't matter. Boom! Her whole life, her preferences, the situation she had created, the fear she felt for no reason, all made sense. Now she can let go of those unknown fears and beliefs and create a different relationship with the concept of money and start to trust herself. So it's really, money intuition is just a cool name, but it's really intuition around allowing yourself to feel past these deep wounds and fears. Believe me, I studied money for a while, and over those years that I worked with people, the first client to call me their fairy godmother called me her fairy godmother of money because it was working with her around these beliefs. And we did this inner work, and she went out and made a bunch of money, got a $3,000 client, and so on and so forth. And at the time, that was really stellar. So all the clients I worked with would almost immediately have amazing little things happen, little like, wow, I got a rebate, or, wow, I didn't have to pay for that, or, wow, we got a bonus bigger than normal, or got it early, and oh, I got a raise, and all kinds of stuff. Why? Is it about the money? No. It's about your feelings, your beliefs, and your soul contracts around money. Is it safe to have money? Will you become a greedy asshole if you have money? So the reason that this client 3 times manifested $10,000 to buy his mother a house, and then was why he came to me. And what we discovered was that he, deep inside of him, believed, his belief prison was, if I buy my mom a house, she'll think I'm one of those rich, greedy assholes and she won't love me anymore. And even though his adult conscious mind said, oh no, that's not true, I really want to buy my mom, it didn't matter. That deeper program was the belief that he had asked to be the filter and was filtering out the ability to buy the house. All right. So Money Intuition is a course we're starting in February, and it's all it's absolutely stunning how it's taking shape, because I have a huge amount of experience teaching this and working with this topic. I studied money globally. Poverty is the #1 cause of disease. More women are in poverty than men. Over 80% of the world's population technically lives in poverty. And what does that mean? Well, we have to look at the word poverty and the energy poverty, but it's about where we've been living. This is the paradigm that's breaking down. We need new belief systems that say we can all have, we don't have to be greedy, we don't have to dominate, we don't have to go to a country and kill everybody and take their shit. We don't have to go cause a war because we want your stuff. We don't have to feel desperate, and we don't have to feel angry about the imbalance. What is it? 1 or 2% of the population owns more than 50% of the wealth on the planet. Then the statistic goes, well, that's not fair. And what happens? You get caught up in the beliefs about trying to judge it. All right. So we're going to do 4 days of Money Intuition free right here on YouTube. Take a look, make sure that you check that out, and then go to the shop and make sure you check out the Money Intuition course starting February 4th. There are beautiful courses. The community becomes very close, very loving. It's a space you'll be heard and seen. It's a space where your intuition is respected. You're going to grow your self-confidence massively in your intuitive skills, while at the same time getting an opportunity to both left and right brain learn about the energy, the concept, the spirit, and the emotional field around money. It's the #1 thing that we kill for. It's the #1 thing that causes judgment. It causes divorce. It's the #1 cause of divorce. It's the #1 cause of stress, which is the #1 cause of disease. So to say money doesn't matter, I don't care about money, I don't want to think about money, that's good. I used to skip in that spiritual la-la butterfly field too. And now I'm interested in being a conscious, co-creative manifester, because everything is here already in my blueprint for me, and everything is already here in the infinite field. I don't have to artificially keep myself poor, and I also don't have to be a bazillionaire. So the pressures of the extremes can be let go. Okay, see you in a minute for the meditation. Namaste.